What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Burndown. I'm Justin.
I'm Eric.
Today's guest is a fellow hashtag SOTL.
SOTL.
Sister of the Leaf. You guys know her on Instagram as Sistersinsmoke. Miss Ben Wills. Ben, thank you for joining us.
Hey guys, how are you?
We're doing great. We're doing fantastic. We're about to smoke a cigar. About to smoke a cigar with a Sister of the Leaf. Get to know her a little bit. What could be worse?
I don't know. I don't know anything worse.
Right?
I mean, you guys, cigars. It's going to be good conversation. I mean, that's what it's all about. We got a little coffee here.
So,
you guys
we're
have
not
coffee.
sure, as we usually do. We usually like to ask our guests what they're smoking, if they're drinking anything. You're already getting the pre-light ceremony intact. So what are you smoking on today, Miss Ben?
I'm going with the Explorer by Adventura.
Ooh, I've actually never smoked that one. I've seen it, but I've never smoked it.
I've seen it many times on Instagram. I have not had the opportunity to smoke it.
No? Have you smoked anything from Adventura?
I don't think so.
I might have. I can't remember the one because I remember posting a picture about it probably 2 years ago, maybe.
His logo always reminds me of Jordan. Every time I see
Yeah.
someone post, I just think of the Jordan logo.
Yeah, because the Jumpman.
I'm always like, is that a Jordan Jumpman cigar? I don't understand.
Well, that's not a bad bad line to draw conclusions to. So
Absolutely not. It's a great.
So I got to say something right off the bat. I notice you got a very iconic poster right over your right shoulder there.
well, I got two.
The late
I got a
great
left
right
and a
there.
right.
You got
I got a left and a right. You know?
I know. I'm seeing the one up there. I can see that a little bit more. The great Muhammad Ali right there.
Yes, it is. That's from the fight with Sonny Liston. And so I don't say it often, but I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. So actually I have two posters. I have that one, and the Great White Hope is hanging in my bathroom.
Nice.
And then
I
over
see you
here,
got a lot
I
of
have the
posters. Are
purple
you a
one.
big poster gal?
I actually used to be one of those teenagers who used to buy the music magazines and tear your favorite artists out and tape them on the wall.
Oh,
It
yeah.
became wallpaper. I was around that generation. Right On, all of those.
I think we're probably born probably around the same era, because as I didn't do that, and many of the friends I was with girls, you'd walk into their room, either on their door, their closet, right above their bed. They had magazine posters and ripped out pages all over. I guess it was like a generational trend type of thing going on.
Yeah, I wasn't a big poster person.
No,
Not really.
No? What?
I
You didn't have Farrah Fawcett, or who was the woman, Pam? Who was the woman
Pamela
from Baywatch?
Anderson.
You didn't. There you go.
Pamela
You didn't have
Anderson.
her.
Marilyn Monroe.
No,
The famous picture of her over the sewer.
No.
The manhole cover with the blowing up, and she's like, "Oh, hold my skirt down."
No,
That's a
is
very famous photo.
I had like framed basketball jerseys. I had like Julius Erving, Larry Bird, like Michael Jordan. That was like my type of poster-esque. That's what I would do.
Okay. Yeah.
Now who
Yeah, so
who's on the left shoulder behind you?
This is Prince. This is from the Dirty Mind tour here. I am a huge Purple One fan. Like,
Wow.
I
he's my favorite.
have to say this. Prince, I think that Prince, in my opinion, had the best halftime show, hands down.
I mean, but
Hands
of
down.
course,
When they put up that big
artist-
bed sheet and he was just ripping the...
Well, even before that, come on, he came outside with an electric guitar and a scarf on. It was every black girl's dream. You were in the rain with a guitar and a scarf. Hell
Killing
yeah!
it.
What about when he took the scarf on, he threw it out? All the girls went
Listen.
nuts. They're like, oh my God.
Listen, me too, and I wasn't even there. But yes, I was screaming at the television.
Boy, oh boy.
So let's get this interview. Let's delve into it. I love that word, delve. Let's delve into it.
Very good vocabulary word.
So while Eric and I are gonna light up our cigars, we're smoking. I'm smoking a Nub Cameroon for anybody that cares.
And I got the back-to-back Nicaraguan Maduro.
So while we light these up, we got to ask you the first question. Okay. Who is Sisters in Smoke. How did Sisters in Smoke start? What gave you the inspiration to start the Instagram? Like, what's it all about?
Well, originally it wasn't about anything other than I was actually hosting a cigar event for my good friend Ken Hamlin, who actually introduced me to cigars, who now has his own cigar called The Arrival. He came to LA and wanted to, throw a cards and cigars little social. So we got that together, and one of my girlfriends, DJ Bova, we were smoking a cigar and we took this photo. And the photo looked like an album cover from the 99 and the 2000s.
Oh yeah.
And my caption was Sisters in Smoke. And I was like, ooh, that would be a cute little Instagram for what I don't know. And so between checking people in, I went to see if it was available. I got it. And then I just kind of left it. I kind of forgot that I had it until people were making 90s references to my photo. And I was like, what? Maybe I can do something with that. And I had been smoking with Ken for a while. So at some point, I think I just started posting to it, and it just kind of snowballed from there. From like just a random photo and a caption.
So when did you start? You started at what time? Did you put your first photo up? When was that?
Instagram hasn't been around for that.
Well, okay. Let me ask you.
Instagram hasn't been around for that long.
So let me ask you this. Better question would be, when did you really start going on Instagram and start posting stuff and really start taking it seriously?
I mean, it might have been, 2021? It might have been 18. Okay. I think I started out doing cigar reviews on my Instagram. And they were cigars that I had gotten from Pro Cigar 2 years ago. And I had the pleasure of, because I was probably there illegally for sure. I did not have a badge. And so I was like, yeah, I should probably smoke through these. And I was recording it, and actually those very, very, very old reviews are actually in my highlights at the very, very end and on my YouTube. And so I was like, okay, this is cool. Kind of smoking for myself for the most part, because up until then, I was usually handed a cigar by someone. So I smoked through them, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And, my YouTube started getting a little traction. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just keep going. I mean, it was something to do at the time. I wasn't really that invested in it, but I was curious.
Sure.
More than anything else.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about how you feel, but I know when I was around the same time I started this cigar Instagram. It was 2017, and I just did it, for kicks and just to mess around, and I didn't realize how much of a community there was and how many people, they call it social media. You don't realize how many people are into cigars. They kind of like blew my mind away. I was like, wow,
yeah,
there is a ton of people on here that like cigars and like to post pictures and talk about it. So it was like a very same feeling. I was like, this is kind of taking a little traction. I wonder where I can go with this. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, how did you get into cigars? I know you said you were just at an event once, but what is it about cigars that you like? How'd you get into them?
Well, and I've said this before, but so not to sound like a broken record, but it was 2010 NBA All-Star Dallas.
Okay.
Which is where Ken used to live. He used to play for the Cowboys. So we were there, and he comes outside, hands me a Tobacco Negra, and says, "Smoke this, don't inhale." He just walks off.
Great advice. Great advice.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Smoke this, don't inhale.
First of all, I don't smoke anything. I don't even know how to smoke, let alone, try to facilitate breathing, which I had been doing my whole life, just to stop. inhaling air.
You're like, how do you breathe in without inhaling?
What the heck is this thing?
Listen, I was like, so he wound up, lighting it, and I tried smoking it, and I did the opposite of what I was instructed to do. And there's actually pictures of me lightweight choking, which are not funny. But yeah, and so
a little funny. You gotta be a little bit funny.
I was gonna say, that's probably a little funny.
True. And so, you know what? Ever since then, we used to travel a lot. And ever since then, I would only smoke when we were somewhere else. Like, I lived in LA. He lived wherever he was playing. I never smoked in LA, not until probably recently. So we'd smoke on vacation. We'd smoke with his family. We'd smoke whatever. And then at some point I was like, all right, girl, you're going to have to figure this out on your own.
You're going to learn today. That's what we say.
So it just kind of snowballed from there, watching him, his friends. But yet and still, maybe for like a whole year, I never actually selected a stick for myself. I kind of blindly trusted him to hand me something that wasn't going to kill me or blow my throat out. And he did. I didn't get an opportunity to start off with the infused cigars or...
You went right into it.
The ones that are brushed, I didn't. I mean, granted, I feel like the Tabac Negra, which I really didn't smoke, I probably put that down after I choked. But then after that, everything was super premium. I think my next stick was my father's Lebisu. And I think I got that cigar when we went to Belize. And I was high, but we won't talk about that.
Wait. I thought you said you didn't smoke anything.
You're just gonna glaze over your high in Belize. What kind of?
She went from not smoking anything to smoking it all.
In Belize, no, rather.
Yeah. It literally went just that fast. So yeah.
I love how she just cruised over that.
Like we weren't gonna try and bring that up.
Yeah, I was just high in Belize when I smoked.
Like that's a normal thing. Like people in Belize all the time.
Well, you know what? I mean, before now, I mean, even now, I've always had a very colorful life. Like I've always been on a plane. And my friends know, listen, you call me if I got 3-4 months rent, some extra change. When is it? Am I off work? I'm there. Like, give me an hour. And at the time, when you're young, there's 48 hours in a day, not 24. So anytime it was like, yo, where you at? Or if I was working, I was traveling, I was hardly ever in LA. So yes, it was smoking in Belize and smoking everywhere but where I live. Everywhere but where I live.
That's not bad.
So how would you say that I'm sure it has, but your palate, has it changed over time as you smoke cigars? Like what cigars have you come to love more? What are some of your favorites? Did you start in Connecticut? Like you said, you started with the Tabac Negra. Did you try that again? Did you move into more fuller bodied smokes? Like how did your journey change over the years?
I never went back to that cigar.
Never looked back.
You know what? I won't say I don't remember the sticks I smoked before. And maybe because at the time not that I wasn't taking it seriously, but it was something to do at the time. So I wasn't paying attention to the label. It's just kind of that, blind friend faith for the most part.
Just smoking to smoke, just to do something while you're out, right?
Yeah, I mean, but I have a curious personality. So I was like, all right, like, let's figure this out. You are not going to beat me. I'm going to figure out how to smoke this without coughing and embarrassing myself. So it came to kind of like a challenge for myself. But it wasn't probably until I started smoking the sticks from the IPCPR. I think I found out more what I did not like than what I did like. And I remember smoking a 601 La Bamba. It was the yellow one.
Yeah.
And I was so sick. I was stuck. like I felt like a character from the movie Half Baked. I was sitting on the couch and I could not like I was like I couldn't even finish smoking. I had to put that down. That was well above my smoking grade at the time. I never went back to that cigar either.
Will you ever go back to it though? Will you try it again?
Nope.
Done.
She thought about it for a second. She's like, nah. No,
I am not one of nope. You burn me once, you're not gonna burn me twice. I'm good. I'll move on.
Check it off the list. Never going back.
Well, we've all been. I remember having sticks. I remember laying down like I was out. I was living in an apartment by myself at the time, and I went outside quick. It was cold. I wanted to smoke something. I don't remember what the cigar. It might have been like a Rocky Patel or something. But I think it was either just a bad stick or I didn't have any food in me or whatever it was. And I remember coming back in the apartment and feeling that type of way. I'm like, nope. Just I had wood floors. I just laid down on the wood floor. Like,
do it.
I didn't even lay on the couch. I just because the wood floor was cold because it was winter. I just laid on the cold. I'm just like, let this pass.
Yeah.
Just got cigar sickness and it was terrible. So I've been there. I know how you feel. It sucks.
I think if you smoke cigars long enough, you gotta be at least there a few times.
Oh yeah.
If you're not, you're not doing something right. But
yeah.
So
yeah, I haven't had that experience until again, and that was obviously like quite a few years ago. Until I think maybe 2 weeks ago, I smoked Roma Craft Black Irish. And I had intended to smoke it to do content. And I usually, try to, smoke 2 cigars at a time. I had come back in, change my clothes. And I was like, nah, not today.
Not today.
Today's a 1 cigar day.
Not today.
I was like, this is not happening. And, I had to sacrifice the lipstick that I put on that day. And I just sat on the couch for the rest of the day. It was over. It took me down.
Just take the L for the day. Just take the L for the day.
That's it.
And just move on.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, it was a great smoke, but yeah, I need a burger.
It's probably like a one type of cigar for the day.
Oh yeah, I like you said. You need something hearty because I've had plenty of smokes where like we come in, I'm like, God, I want something just heavy burger, steak, greasy fries, just
fuel the system,
just
baby.
Fuel it, man.
Fuel it. So Sisters in Smoke today. What is it? What are you doing? Where is it taking you? What are the next steps for Sisters in Smoke? Because I see you have a website. I know you got the hashtag, the Smoky Truth. I want to know all about it.
Yeah, you got a nice following, about 12,000 followers on Instagram. Congrats to you on that. Once you hit the 10K mark, it's like you're official now, right? We're still trying. We're not there yet. So
is that what they say? I didn't know that.
That's what they say.
Once you get the little K in your profile.
No, you know what? So the Smoky Truth originally, I mean, look, we've been in solitary confinement for a year now. So I had to do a little pivoting. But originally, the Smoky Truth was supposed to be a celebratory social exchange supported by Tasting Discovery. And so more of an in-person type of thing, a communal type of thing for me to be able to put women in a room with other women and to be able to really focus on what we're doing and why we're doing it, which is obviously smoking, and really be able to put our choices or make our choices our own. Like, what are we smoking? Why do you like that? Why does that interest you? Really be able to talk to people in the industry, which is pretty much what I did in quarantine. Instead of it being in person and, renting out venues and things like that, I had the opportunity to do it via Zoom with some of the women that have kind of poured into me, kind of really shown me what tobacco is and how it works and what it looks like, and walked me through the transformation type of things, with Mia Reyes and Raquel Quesada, and then, kind of have a conversation with retailers. So I really got a chance to do that. And, the women really showed up for that type of experience. It was just viral. And I think we had a really, really good time, and I think it was needed. And it showed me that, we do show up when we're invited to the table. So
that's great.
Yeah, because we interviewed somebody from PCR, which formerly known as IPCPR, or PCA now, sorry, formerly known as IPCPR, and they were saying that women in the cigar industry are growing at an exponential rate because it is, let's be honest, it is or was a male-dominated industry, and now women are on the rise, doing exactly what you're doing, saying, no, we're coming into the lounges, we can pick our own cigars, we know what we're smoking, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful because now you go into cigar lounges and it's a mixture of everybody in there, men and women, smoking cigars, knowing what they're smoking, knowing what they're tasting, knowing all the different brands and everything.
Absolutely. And
so it's wonderful. It's nice to see.
It's good because we always say, a cigar brings people together. You're in a cigar lounge, you're at a party, people are smoking cigars. The reason why they're together is, it's because of this thing in your hand. And what you're doing is, bringing everyone together, mainly the women's side of it, and saying, hey, we're our own group too. We can take on we can play with the boys too. And I see it every single day on social media. It's just more and more. I remember you posting pictures about it, with your Zooms, and you would have you were swiping through how many people were on the Zoom, and I was like, wow, look at this. This is a lot of people. These are a lot of females smoking cigars. They must know something. They must like something about this cigar. So that was one of the reasons why we're on here, because we know we saw you orchestrating that, so we want to just understand, the meaning behind it, which is really awesome.
Yeah, thank you. One thing I've learned in life, and also just in this space, is that I'm a student into this tobacco game. You know what I mean? I'm not fourth and fifth generation like a Nierga or a Raquel Quesada. I didn't grow up in it or around it. This is new for me. But I've also been afforded the opportunity to be in company with some really amazing people, or people I believe that are really amazing and have something to offer. And so when they pour into me, it's not for me to keep, it's for me to give away. If they give me something that I think, not just women, but you, or, I have good friends that I smoke and we talk shit. Can I say shit?
Hey, you could curse whatever you want to say on here. No
shit,
problem.
Yeah, you can say shit.
Fuck yeah, you can say shit on
right,
here.
You can say shit.
So, that's really the space that I'm in, because, and in no disrespect to, the men that have been gracious and giving me stuff early on, but I didn't know anything. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was smoking. I could have been smoking weed for all I know. I would have
It's a cig of weed.
Listen, I've seen really big blunts in my day. Okay, so it's possible. But, just gives us an opportunity to participate, to catch up, and to be intentional. It's not to exclude men from participating, but it's about including on that same platform. And I feel like that's needed. That's how we show up. Women show up to what we are invited to.
And women make things more fun anyways. Who always wants to be around a bunch of guys?
Nobody wants
time?
A sausage fest.
Yeah, no, we want this perspective from the female side. We don't understand their side.
Well, I mean, you're laughing now, but that's exactly what you were doing before we got here.
Hey, when I joined Women on the Uprising, so I was always around. I guess growing up, when I wasn't into cigars, that's what I thought of. But until I got into the social media game and realizing the people out there, I looked at cigars from a completely different perspective, because even when I started, doing this cigar journey about 4 years ago, there were still plenty of women involved, and I was like, wow. I didn't realize, women like cigars, and it completely, obviously, changes and altered my perception on it, because I obviously thought it was a male-dominated industry, but I am obviously wrong, which I'm very happy about, because it is more fun. It is more fun, to be speaking to women like you.
I like how you had said that you're a student of the tobacco industry, because we all are. I mean, it doesn't matter how long you've been smoking, you're always learning more about the cigar. Like, you can be a master blender, like you said, maybe fourth, fifth generation, but you're still learning because every year the tobacco is going to be different. The weather is different. It grows differently. They're coming out with different cigars every year. I mean, you've seen it. The boutique blends are off the charts now. It's kind of like craft beers. There's a new one every single day. So you're always learning, and there's always more to try. Like, until you've had every single cigar on the planet, I don't think you're done. And I don't think that's possible because they're always coming out with new ones.
No, definitely not.
This is true. Very true.
So
very true.
So speaking about the community, I mean, one thing that we've certainly come to learn is that the cigar community is super friendly. It's huge. There's so many people on social media that are smoking cigars, both men and women. How do you feel about the cigar community, about the people that you've smoked with, just the community in general?
It's cool. You know what? I wasn't the most social before now. I have a very A-type personality. All I used to do was work, and more work and work. I really liked money. I really liked money.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, we have that in common.
So, in my 20s, I wasn't really hanging out like that. And so, yeah, smoking cigars has definitely afforded me the opportunity to be a little bit more social, to be in front of people. I probably practiced more elevator pitches in my life in this space. And I also have more female relationships, as I like to call them, now than I did before. I've kind of always been a guy's girl. And so now, with this and meeting other women and, kind of leaning into other cultures, it's been really exciting to meet people that now I can call a friend or, sit and smoke and say, hey girl, I ain't seen you in a minute. Where you at? We need a Zoom date. It's been really nice. It's been really good. It's been generous.
Wow. Yeah.
So here's a question that we actually asked something similar to this in the past, and I want to ask you because it kind of opens up your mind a little bit to really think about it. If you could pick one person to smoke a cigar with, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I'd smoke a cigar with Tupac.
Tupac.
You're in LA, right?
I am, but I'm going back to my previous comment about, the Right On magazines and tearing your favorite artist out and on your wall. He was all over the place.
All right. I completely get it. I mean, he was the man in the 90s. It was
Tupac.
It was him, and I mean, it'd be probably pretty interesting to have a conversation with that man.
Is he a cigar smoker? Is he?
I mean, I think I've seen pictures,
Yeah, he was a cigar smoker. But really more so when you think about the experience of smoking cigars and what you might want to get out of it. He was very cerebral, very infectious, well-spoken, well-read, the living definition of carpe diem. I mean, yeah. I think he was still at 25, 26, like to live that much life, to do that much stuff. Can we pull up a chair?
Yeah.
Pull up a chair. Let me
talk to you real quick.
No, I feel like because he was a very intelligent person, and you can tell by the lyrics and everything. He was, like you said, well read, well spoken,
and those are a lot of people you meet smoking a cigar. Not saying cigars are for dummies, but there's a lot of smart people out there, and I feel like if you sit down with Tupac Shakur in a lounge, he fits that mold of a cigar smoker in a lounge, and he'll be able to tell you stories and drop knowledge on you that you'll never even think of before.
Honestly, I don't think he would be a lounge guy. I think he is we're in these streets. I'm downstairs, get in the car, light it up, and let's get on these
Let's talk.
hydraulics and ride these streets with these palm trees.
Let's get bouncing.
Yeah. What I mean by
cigars,
I mean by like the lounge, I mean just a conversation, like the conversations that go in a lounge. You can have those conversations anywhere. I feel personally, because I always listen to a lot of Tupac myself, just from what he had to say and what he can bring to the table and bring to a conversation. It's definitely someone you want to call up when you got a question or you need advice from. He probably someone you want to, put your ear to.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely, I think if he was smoking something, I think I'd like to think that he would smoke like a Monte Cristo Open Eagle or Tatuaje 6. Maybe like LFD double Ligero, something a little spicy, something worth your time, something with a 1-2 punch, that type of thing.
Name dropped it, and I loved it. That LFD double Ligero.
Why for those particular cigars that you just said, why do you think that correlates with him?
Because to me, he strikes me as the type of person to do everything with intention, whether you agree with it or not. And I wouldn't go as far as to say that he would be a straight Cuban smoker, but I do think he would smoke something of quality, something, like I said, with a little 1-2 punch, something that's solid, something you can depend on. And so I feel like those sticks, along with like a Drew Estate, Brazilian Maduro, are the type of sticks that he'd be able to rock with.
Yeah, something like this. I like you said, a 1-2 punch. Something that's got a little kick, like maybe even like a Punch Diablo. It's got a good kick. The LFD double Ligero, maybe even like a Lancero size. That's got a nice kick. Then when it gets down to about halfway, kind of looks like a joint, a little blunt. You might want to. I mean, a blunt, not a joint. It looks like a little blunt when it gets halfway down. But I don't smoke weed. I don't freaking know.
It's okay. But yeah, no, I like this because this is like really one of the first conversations that we've had that we're kind of like. We've asked people, who do you want to smoke with? And most of the time people are, alive. But people who said who are obviously passed, they don't go into much detail. So we're kind of like creating a scenario on what type of cigar smoker. And it's kind of a cool perspective because I never really thought about like, hey, what would Biggie like to smoke? What kind of cigars would he like to smoke? What would we be doing with him?
So here's a question. So, all right. So you paint the picture, right? So you're in a car. Got the hydraulics fully loaded.
Still Dre by Dr. Dre is
right.
bumping.
You got the hydraulics. You got Dr. Dre bumping. He's smoking an LFD or maybe like something with, like you said, punch. I said Punch Diablo. You said maybe the Open Eagle. But let's say he's smoking an LFD double Ligero. What are you smoking with him?
I am. Let me see. If I'm smoking with Tupac, that means we're gonna be smoking all night.
It's gonna be like you've only had maybe 3 cigar days. It's gonna be like a 4 or 5 cigar night.
Listen, okay, we smoking. Let him tell it. It's Hennessy and Alizé all night, so I got to start off light.
That couch is gonna look real good at the end of the night.
Woo. Okay. You know what? I'd probably start out with what I'm smoking now. The Adventure Explorer. And I'd probably venture somewhere between the Saga blend number 7. And then I'd probably go to Illusion Epernay.
That's a fantastic stick.
And then, yeah, I think so too. And then I would go to Patina Maduro. And then I'd probably end with a warped Claude Lechine, the small batch exclusive. I'd probably end with that.
So you're going to be smoking for this is going to be starting at 11 a.m. And you guys smoke 1, go to lunch.
Better be a Saturday.
Smoke 2, get some coffee, get a little drink, smoke another one. I like that. That's a nice picture right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Just riding around the town all day.
I mean, like I said, I've never really asked or been in, or thought about like a scenario what's like smoking with someone who's passed. So it's a interesting perspective because now I feel like it's real. Now I feel like Tupac is actually alive today, and you're gonna be able to do it.
And he smokes LFDs. Yeah.
I'm like, what Tupac smokes? He smokes LFDs, double Ligeros. So maybe we'll find him in Cuba. Maybe he's still in Cuba down there. Maybe we'll find him one day down there.
We'll have to put the hologram up of him smoking an LFD.
Yeah, that's a sight to see.
That was cool when they did the hologram thing. That was very cool. So, what are your goals for like Sisters in Smoke? Is it more of just a blog that you do? I know you have the blog, the Sisters in Smoke. I think it's .net. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what are some of your goals? Like, where do you see it taking you in the future?
I honestly, my background is in talent relations. So my job has always been to manage people and expectations and projects. So, the whole thing with the Smoky Truth, being able to create these celebratory social exchanges with both men and women, of course, that's my sweet spot. And not just from an idea perspective, but from an execution perspective. And I'd like to see that happen. It's always a really good reminder that these are things that I can do when I go to other countries and they have their culture down pat. And I'm like, hey, you know what? I'd love to take the smoking experience outside of the lounge into a really beautiful venue and, keep it cute,
keep it cute, keep it classy.
Could you see yourself like creating or curating these events like in other countries where, hey, we're gonna have a Sisters in Smoke or the Smoky Truth event in different countries that everybody can come and, like you said, get together, exchange ideas and whatnot? Do you see yourself doing something like that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, there's nothing new under the sun. I live in Hollywood. Listen, you go to one party, you've been to them all, unless Prince shows up or Stevie Wonder decides.
I was going to say, hold on a second. Every party ain't really. There's a few parties that might be a little bit better than others.
True. But the formula is always the same.
Right.
And if you can execute it and not just dream it up, but really kind of create this imaginative moment, in those parties or in those socials, then you have something special. And so I would love to do that. I'd love to team up with sponsors and, really show them it's less traditional to do things the way that I would like to do them in a traditional space. I don't mind the cigar lounge, of course, but I don't mind cutting lights. And, we've talked about, well, not you and I, but, I've had this conversation with people before when it comes down to like cutting lights and cigar events and, you have people there from brands or whatever, but there's a disconnect between the people that are there to represent the brand and the consumer. And so I kind of want to do away with that. I kind of want to create an experience where people can talk to people like humans, whether they are the shit or not. Listen to beautiful music, look at beautiful scenery, smoke beautiful cigars, have amazing cocktails by a sponsor, and maybe even, a little dancing here or there, just really kind of capture the definition of culture.
So it sounds like you're trying to make a vacation. You get the vacation event with obviously cigars. Like you're smoking a cigar down in Miami, on the beach, you got the view, you got the people, you got the cigars, you got the music. That's what it kind of sounds like. You kind of want to create like that vacation cigar vibe.
It's like a mini wedding, just based around cigars.
Well, it's not always that extravagant, but like I said, those are things that are normal to me. It doesn't take anything to have what they call like a happy hour type of experience with a few beautiful touches. It doesn't have to be as over the top, or you don't have to blow out your budget to do it if you actually pick the right venue. Okay, you pick the right venue, then you keep your budget down. You know what I'm saying? And so, there are simple and cost efficient ways to do that. I just, I don't always want to sit in a smoky place with a terrible humidification system. I don't want to always, sit up on my fire escape, which I'm pretty sure everybody knows at this point. I want to go somewhere else, and I want to go somewhere cute, and I want to talk to cute people. So
no, I like you said, because I've been to events where it's, and I feel you when you say that there's a little bit of a disconnect between some of the sponsors or the retailers that are there to promote their cigars and the people that are attending, because we've been to plenty of them where, okay, they have a table, they're set up and everything, but they're just kind of handing you the cigar, and they just tell you, yeah, this cigar's got a Brazilian wrapper, a Habano binder, but they tell you about the cigar, they give it to you, you walk away, and you smoke it. But you only really have the conversation with the people that are attending and not necessarily the people that are sponsoring. They're behind the table, you're on this side of the table, and there's a little bit of a disconnect, and I felt that before in past events that I've went to. So I feel, and I think that's a good idea where you're trying to get everybody involved, whether it be the people that are bringing the cigars, the people that are bringing the cocktails, people that are bringing the music, the people that are attending, that are smoking it. You want to bring them all together. Let's all get together. Let's all have a conversation. Let's dance. Let's laugh. Let's eat some food. Look at the nice scenery, the nice people. And I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. I mean, but it's all about whatever your focus is. Usually, to keep it in perspective, a cut and light is essentially the focus of that is to promote and sell cigars. It's not really designed in the experience space, and that's okay. Like, it's what it works. It works for what it has its purpose.
Right.
And not everybody is like that. I've absolutely been, to some cut and lights, and I got my favorite reps who I have a grand time, with at the time. But, I think there's something to be said about kind of shifting focus a little bit, because the cigars are going to sell themselves at this point. Right. At this point, you have to be able to trust that if you're coming, we're coming. But what's going to happen when we get there?
Right. Like, obviously, a cigar event, you're going to smoke cigars, whatever cigars are available, you're going to purchase those, you're going to buy those. Like you said, the cigars kind of sell themselves at that point. It's more really about getting the people together and having those conversations, getting them to know one another. And it's almost like a networking event too. It's where you can go and you can meet other people, hear the stories, make friends. And
so speaking of, the community and getting people together, who are some of your favorite people you like to interact with on social media? If you met them in person or if you just talk to them on Instagram or whatever, who are some of your favorite people that you like to speak to and hang out with in the cigar community?
Well,
I'm sure you have a lot.
Chrissy,
we know.
What did Tupac say? I get around. So,
one of my favorite songs by him, by the way.
Well, you know what? I'm really good friends with Chrissy from Spades Cigars, and I met her at She Smokes Too event out of Atlanta Cigar Week, which is spearheaded by her aficionado. See, there's a chain of
Octavia.
Yeah, we've had her on the podcast.
Yeah.
And so I think probably, I'm close to quite a few, but her and I, we went to Pro Cigar together. So now told us listen, okay, now that I know we can travel together, I'm not letting you go.
That's huge. That's a huge factor.
I'm not letting you go.
You got to be able to travel with the person. If you can't travel with somebody, then that's a huge turnoff. So it's okay
because I will go somewhere by myself. Don't worry about that. But her, I really have a good time with Renee or Bobby January. That's my girl. I talk to the Ashtonary San, or her name is San, a lot. I also really adore Shy. She, I can't remember her Instagram name. This is what happens when you become acquainted with people and their real names. You forget what their Instagram name is. But she works at the Davidoff in Peachtree in Atlanta. I really adore her. And then I hang out with Maisha, Sisters of the Leaf, and then my buddy Carl here from Cigar Noir podcast. That's my I think he's like me, but a guy. So weird. We come to Cigars, it's like I'm staring at myself. So I kind of, I talk to them the most. So it's been good.
There's a lot of great people out there.
Yeah, the cigar industry community is chock full of them. It really is a wonderful community, and like you said, I think that social media is, because we talk about this plenty of times, where it's a blessing and a curse, and depending on how you use it. And there's so many people that you find them on social media, just like now. Like we found you on social media, and here we are having a great conversation on the podcast. We appreciate you taking the time to join us. We love talking to you. You're a wonderful person. And this is great that we met you on social media. Like, we just follow liked your pictures. You like my pictures. I'll hit the follow. You hit the follow. Next thing you know, we're having a conversation.
It breaks that barrier, because when we speak to, like, there's people I've DM'd constantly, and then I actually meet them in person, and it's like, hey, what's up? Like, it's like no sweat off the back. Like you're
it's like you're already friends.
You're already friends. Yeah. So it's like, if we go to California, you come to New York. It's not like, hey, Ben, what's up? It's like, Ben, what's going on? Where's Tupac? I'm smoking double arrows together. So that's the part of social media I like. It kind of, because we love this community, we love meeting people in this community, and it kind of breaks that barrier of that first time meeting people, and it just, you pick up like right where you left off. So yeah, that's a huge thing, at least in our part, which we love.
So
yeah, me too.
So I have two questions I got to ask you right now. One is Ben short for something? Is Ben your real name? Because I've never met a woman named Ben.
I swear about $1 for every time somebody asks me that.
I know. I had to ask you.
Stop calling me, okay?
But is it short for something, or is your real name Ben?
No, it's short for something.
What's it short for? Are you allowed to? Do you want to tell us? Do you not want to tell us?
You just don't want to put the whole government name out there.
You don't have to. I just figured.
Was that your second question?
No, my second question was.
Not telling.
You don't have to.
I like the mysteriousness. Yeah, it's better that way. It's
your name. You don't have to tell anybody. My second question: Who does your hair? Because I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. As soon as it turned on, I'm like, her hair is fantastic.
It is. You do have a lot of great hairstyles. I'm not a big guy, obviously, into hair, but I do always take notice of your different hairstyles. I will say that. It is something that is always on point when we see you on social media. Do
you do that yourself? You have a hairdresser that does it, or?
No, I do it myself. I got in the kitchen. That's what we call it. We do our hair in the kitchen. So I do it myself. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Well, it looks great. You do a wonderful job on it. As soon as we turned it on, I was like, man, she got a great head of hair. Look at that.
If cigars don't work out, you could open your own hair salon, hair spot.
Listen, I have been doing my hair since I was 12, and I am over it.
I think I hear that from most females. They always say, I'm over my hair. I'm done with it. I don't want to do it. I'm done.
Well, you know what? Like the benefit of having a beautiful head of hair is you can do so many different styles. Like, I'm sick of doing the same freaking style over and over and over. You got to blow dry it out. You got to put the gel in it, spray hairspray. Blow dry it out, put the hairspray. Like, you have so much to work with. It's wonderful.
Listen, it just all depends on how much time do I, because this takes me 2 days.
Wow. Really? 2 days to do that? Holy cow.
Listen, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Okay, this black girl thing is serious business. Okay.
Takes a lot of work.
It's serious business. It's not that it's a lot of work, it just takes time, because our hair does whatever it's gonna do. Black girls are not in control. Not like we're
It's kind of wake up and see what it's doing today. All right, that's how I'm gonna wear it.
No, you have to wake up, see what it's doing. If it's not doing what it's supposed to do, you got to have a provision, which usually includes a scarf or headband or a fake ponytail, something. I got to have options if this is not going to work out.
So instead of you choosing your hairstyle, the hairstyle chooses you. It kind of.
Yes, and then you can pick your clothes, not before.
Yep.
Oh, that's something new. I've never heard that before. Your hair determines the clothes. Interesting.
See, and that's interesting. Yeah,
Yes.
because so for you, it's the hair determines the rest of the clothes. And we've always talked about. I go with the shoes. I start at the shoes, and the shoes. So I start from the bottom, work up. You start from the top, work down.
Yeah, I don't.
You
Really
never start like the outfit. You never start at the outfit. It either starts at the bottom or it starts at the top, and then it fills in the rest.
Yes, yes. Because listen, as a woman, I don't know about guys, but I can find the most beautiful dress in the world. So, say for instance, when I'm at Pro Cigar and they have the all white party, right? If I buy my dress first, because obviously I have to do it in advance, I have to find a hairstyle that complements the dress that I'm going to wear. Now, if I was actually next week, I would probably be going to Pro Cigar now. Sad face. Tear.
Yeah,
sad face
not
emoji.
happening. But I would never go to the Dominican Republic. Crazy. She would braid this down, put this away, and then I would pick a hairstyle to go with the dress that I got. Never the other way around.
It is a process. It is a process. I will say.
people don't understand how much goes into it.
And it says a lot about people who put themselves together. Like you said, your hair takes 2 days. You could say, forget it. It's gonna be 2 hours, and it's all about first impressions. Because if you said, screw it, I'm not taking 2 days to do my hair. I'm gonna take 2 hours. I'll be like, maybe we don't want Ben on our podcast. Her hair is kind of, maybe not the best. So kudos to you. Great job. Great.
It's
job.
hard work to look this good, man.
Hey, that's what they say.
You guys
It's hard
are
work.
so funny. So then let me ask you,
Please.
Ask away.
alive or dead, who do you want to smoke with?
Frank Sinatra.
Oh, come on. I feel like everybody's saying
Frank's. I
need you to dig a little deeper.
Okay, I have plenty. We actually just got asked this question. We were on another podcast called Division Lab, and they had asked us, which is kind of why we asked you this question. They asked us if you could have 5 people at your table, dead or alive, who would it be? And the only caveat to that is it can't be whatever higher power that you believe in, because obviously I believe in God, he believes in God. I would like to have a conversation with God. He said you can't choose your higher power. Who would your 5 be? And it was a very hard question because it was on the spot, and I'm like, man, there's like a Rolodex. My brain, it's just so many different people.
My first one, I said Kobe. I said
Kobe Bean. Yeah, that would probably be one I would smoke with. Kobe Bean.
Similar to what you said about Tupac. He is so articulate, and his business background is so interesting to me on where he was. Like, I felt like he was still on the up and up on where he was in life. And I watched like some of his last interviews, and I just, I was like, man, if I could sit down with Kobe and just say, what do you do in the morning every single day? Like, just a simple question. I just want to understand, Kobe Bryant and his process. But it is a good question. But to dive a little deeper, someone who I haven't said, and you said who's passed, right? Not alive.
You'd be alive.
Oh, okay. Because
I had my list because I thought about it.
The 5 people that I said Kobe Bryant. I said Eric. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Eric Thomas. He's a motivational speaker. He would get me. I think they call him the hip hop preacher.
Yeah, E.T. the hip hop preacher.
Yeah. So I used to go door to door. My first job out of college, I would knock on people's doors, and then obviously in New York, I was out there in the sleet, the rain, the snow, 0-degree weather. So I needed some kind of motivation, and that's the time that Eric Thomas was really on the up and up, especially on YouTube. So I would watch his videos and like get fired up to go knock on some doors. And I was like, let's go. So so it was Kobe Bryant, Eric Thomas. I did say Frank Sinatra. I said Derek Jeter. And who was my last? Oh, and J. Cole. It was either between J. Cole or Nas. And I was like,
Now Tupac.
Okay, wait a minute. Question 2B.2.
Let's hear it.
Why did you pick J. Cole over Nas? Very interesting. I am so interested.
Well, it was a very tough choice for you.
It was very tough because my first favorite rapper growing up was Nas. I loved his stories. I loved the lyrics. I can close my eyes and listen to him, and I can just watch a movie by him rapping. And then J. Cole came around, and I compared J. Cole to Nas because they're very lyrically parallel. Yeah. And the same thing. I can listen to J. Cole. I can listen to his stories. But I guess I grew up with J. Cole because I listened to him before he was a nobody. I listened to all his mixtapes on the warm-up, the Friday Night Lights. So and I always said, like, and obviously this is just me exaggerating, but I felt like it was my son watching him grow and be successful because I watched him. I've been to his concerts in Brooklyn when they were you just show up and there's no seats. You just show up and whatever, first come, first serve. So
that's sweet.
It was hard for me, but I think I picked J. Cole because it was more relatable to me growing up. Nas, I picked up. I didn't grow up with Nas. You know, I obviously learned everything behind him, but it wasn't his life and his career was obviously through the roof before I was even, you know, able to understand what hip hop was. So that's why I went J. Cole.
What's your favorite J. Cole song?
Which one? I can give you my favorite album.
That's like asking what's your favorite cigar.
My favorite album by him is 2014 Forest Hills. I mean, every song, it's like Get Rich or Die Trying by 50 Cent. Every song is a bang on that album. And, but there's so many good songs. If I had to pick a couple off the top.
Yeah, pick one. Yeah, pick one. You got to know. It's like, what's your favorite Tupac song? You got to know. You got to know.
Oh, God. If I had to pick one. God, I don't know. I have to think.
You want me to go my table while you think?
Yeah, let me get back to Ben on that one.
Okay.
I have to curate some thoughts right now.
This is the song you're gonna be stuck with on repeat for the rest of your life.
Oh, you're right. I'll let Justin go, and I'll get back to you on that one. Oh my God.
So I'm pulling up Justin's my list.
He's over here cheating because he's googling.
No, I had my list, and I had it DM'd. So let me put it up. So the first one was Kobe Bryant. I changed it up. I picked a couple, but I was so, my brain like never shuts off. So I was kind of like going through, and I'm like on the spot. I got to pick somebody. His brain, he's just like picked him up. And then it's funny because he went first, and he picked the name. I'm like, fuck, I should have picked that name. And then I picked somebody, and then he went Frank Sinatra. I'm like, fuck, I should have picked that. But so I said, so Kobe Bean be the first one. Or LeBron James. It'd be one of the two. If I had to pick somebody that passed away, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, I'd pick Kobe Bryant or LeBron James. Their mentality on how they can't process failure, they don't ever get tired, they're just constantly going and working is fantastic. The second one would be Frank Sinatra. My third one, I had like the third seat would be one of these three people. Tony Robbins, Les Brown, or T.D. Jakes would be one of those three people. Same kind of
bad trio.
It's and it was tough because I went through. I'm like, all right, the sports guy, the music guy, the motivational speaker, like you said, Eric Thomas is great. Tony Robbins, Les Brown, T.D. Jakes, and I told T.D. Jakes too because like you can't sit down with your higher power. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sit down with Bishop T.D. Jakes. That's how I get around it.
Loopholes.
No punches.
Oh, like yeah, a little loophole. My fourth seat is one of two people, it'll either be Ben Franklin or Abraham Lincoln. I sit down with one of those guys again, just to hear like the mindset and the stories and just like the conversation. I feel like the conversation would never end. And then my fourth seat was kind of weird. My fifth seat was kind of different. It was interesting. I'm trying to think of who would be again stories like who would be somebody that just had crazy stories. So it was either Winston Churchill, probably because he smokes. He's a huge cigar smoker. Or this one's an oddball. Marcus Aurelius.
Who's that?
Marcus Aurelius was one of the Roman emperors, one of the five good emperors they call it. One of the Roman emperors that brought peace to the Roman Empire. But I have there's a lot of quotes from him as well, and just again, like I'm trying to think of people that I could sit down with that would just have stories and totally different stories, like a story from Kobe Bryant versus a story from T.D. Jakes versus a story from Benjamin Franklin versus Abraham versus Marcus Aurelius. They'd be totally different stories.
No doubt.
So that was kind of my fight. But if I really, really had to pick one, it would probably be Kobe Bryant. If I had to, all in all, it would probably be Kobe Bean.
Kobe.
Because his mindset, his brain was like on just another level.
Yeah.
Agreed. It was almost like a godlike level. Like it was just completely the higher level of everybody else. it was incredible. I can't explain it. It was incredible. I watched all his interviews, and he was unbelievable.
So
that's my long answer. So now back to you. Favorite J. Cole.
So as soon as I went over to J. Cole, as soon as I went over to Justin, it went right into my head. I mean, the one song that popped into my mind is GOMD. So if those don't know, it's called "Get Off My Something Else."
Eggplant.
But the
Get
song,
off my eggplant.
Yeah, get off. Yeah, you know what it is. So, but I love that song so much because anytime I hear it, as soon as you hear the start, I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And my brothers are huge J. Cole fans, and anytime it's in the car, we're like, to the window, to the wall. And it's something, and like you can be in the club, you can be out by the pool, you can get fired up to it, and the song is, and I like the music video too because it's very articulate and it's very artistic. But it's got to be GOMD. I mean, that song,
nice.
Besides the lyrics, it gets you fired up, and I'm all about just getting fired up.
It's like that. So you ever see that video of the guy where I forgot what the title is, but it's a guy and he's driving a car and his son is sitting there in the passenger seat and he's like, when your jam comes on, and like one of his old hip hop songs comes on and he's just like, oh shit, he starts like hitting his kid, like, and the cereal, the kid's trying to eat cereal and the cereal's going everywhere and he's like, let's. That's one of those songs that when you have a kid, you're gonna put that on, and you're gonna be like, "Let's go!"
You get like the Kevin Hart face. You're like, "Oh, shit! Here it comes! It's coming!" So yeah, that would be my answer. Are you a big J. Cole fan? Or a Nas fan?
I don't know. I do not know his songs that well, but I do. I respect his position on music, on the distribution of music. I know that, and again, you know, Nas, J. Cole, Tupac, those type of people, they're very cerebral. They're very intentional with their words. There is always a message, no matter what the foundation is or
they tell
how commercial
a
the song
story
may
with
be.
their music.
You're going to walk away learning something about their life or something that happened. They're going to tell you they're storytellers. That's what it is. Yeah. I love a good storyteller. So yeah.
All right. So
I like it, but I will listen to that song when we get off of here. GOMD.
That's what you said? GOMD. It's from the album 2014 Forest Hills. Another good song is from his mixtape called Dollar and a Dream.
What do you know? What? Why do you know that?
He's a J. Cole fan.
So and so.
I'm telling you, J. Cole is my man. I'm telling you, that's
awesome.
I remember when a friend of mine gave me his mixtape, and it was on a burnt CD with the printed out emblem, and he's holding the basketball in the rain, and I'm like, he's like, yo, listen to this guy J. Cole, you know, he's really good, and I'm like, all right, another rapper, all right, sure, whatever, and then sure enough, that mixtape, The Warm Up, is another mixtape that every single song. It's amazing. It's so bangers for days. So I would highly recommend it. If you haven't really listened to much J. Cole, I would at least recommend spending an hour and just listen to some different songs, and you will truly have a different perspective on him. I'm
gonna do it. I'm gonna get back to you on it.
Please let me know. Shoot me a DM.
All right. So here's gonna be the last question. Okay, because we're coming to the end here. We've been having a wonderful conversation. We're past an hour. So the last question for you, and this is the song related one. Since you couldn't pick a favorite song for J. Cole, favorite song from Tupac. You said that's your man that you would sit down with, have a cigar. What song are you listening to?
And why?
You know what? I respect him, but I was also in love with Tupac. Okay. In love, LUV. Okay. Thug Passion is actually one of my favorite songs. Well, it's a toss up between Thug Passion and Toss It Up. Okay, don't judge me because they are probably Toss It Up is just a very raunchy song. but between the two, the instrumental alone, and not Toss It Up, but Thug Love has a feature with Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yes.
Who, by the way, can we just take a moment for Bone Thugs and Harmony?
She's getting all flustered right now thinking about Tupac, Bone Thugs.
Crazy Bone, Busy Bone? Which one?
Listen, and let's be honest. If you liked Bone Thugs and Harmony, you had your girlfriends. Everybody had a bone that they loved.
Oh yeah,
everybody. So, but the instrumental to Thug Love is it's fantastic.
That is a great song.
It's fantastic.
One of my favorite songs by Bone Thugs is First of the Month. I don't know why.
Bone Thugs and Harmony. I haven't listened to that.
When I first listened to First of the Month, I didn't really understand what it was. I just liked the melody. I liked the chorus, and I was like, "It's the first of the month," and I would just head bopping to it.
Well, it has to be because you couldn't understand what the fuck they were saying.
True. This is true.
You're like, what? And this is back in the day when, you had the old school blank tapes, and if you was fancy, you didn't get the gray ones, you got the colored ones, the yellow, the pink stripes, and you would record the song from the radio and then play it back, play, stop, right, play,
yep,
rewind, play again, stop, right, play, stop, play, stop. Like, and that is probably the only way I probably learned the words to both. Like, what, you're talking too fast. What are you saying right now?
That's like
so true.
Another guy like that is Busta. Busta was like that, where he would have and a lot of the words would always be like the B's and the D's, so like and you're like, what the hell is this dude saying? I love it. It sounds fantastic, but I have no clue what he's saying.
It reminds me of what you just said was you're not understanding what they're saying, so you would just keep playing press rewind, and it reminds me of a song by Twista. And
Twista's another one like that. Yeah,
Twista and T-Pain.
Overnight Celebrity?
No. I don't think it was a radio song. It was a song called "Creep Fast" by T-Pain and Twista, and T-Pain and Twista speak so fast on that song, and I wanted to know what they said, so I would go on Google, I would look at the lyrics, and then I would try to be.
You can't do it, yeah.
Oh my!
That's like what song is that? That's
Google.
Yep, I was Google spoiled.
Bless your heart.
That's like what there's two other songs like that.
You did it the rough. You actually had to play it back.
Right? I remember doing that on the plane, taking just restarting the song, and because it would have the one spot, you just restart it, let it play again. Like, okay, I got like the first two words, restart. All right, let me get the next two lines, restart.
I can't imagine doing it the way you did it. I mean,
it was the only way to do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
I don't know how old you guys are, but I must be a little older than y'all because there was no Google, there was no internet. We hadn't even got to MySpace yet, so that was the only way that was happening. That was the only way that was happening. And I was probably in middle school at the time.
And it was probably more impactful the way you did it because you actually had to sit there and write down and listen and keep going. So it's definitely more embedded.
I mean, listen, those songs back then, especially the Tupac songs, those songs are in my soul because I know every word. I'm a whole hand. We are ever in the same place. They drop the beat to How Do You Want It?
Oh,
I'm just gonna let you know. I'm gonna be a whole new. You're gonna be like
shit's about to, as Kevin Hart would say, it's about to go down.
Yeah.
It is going down. I turn into a whole nother person. I rap every word, and I don't see anybody until it's over.
There was two other songs like that I remember where they were really fast, and you had to do it. Was Busta Rhymes was "Can't Stop Me Now" when he did with Chris Brown. He had that one. Whatever it was.
Everyone tries.
Yeah, it was like a few bars that he had that was unbelievable.
Look at me now. Yeah.
Oh, look at me now. Not Can't Stop Me. Look at me now. And the other one was Eminem's Rap God. As soon as that song came out, everybody tried to get it. And I honestly, I don't even know if I had the breath to do it.
No, I was like, I'll take the L on that one. Yeah. I'm not even going to try it.
Eminem, you got that one. I'm not even going to try that one.
That's it. So Ben, first and foremost, thank you for your time. It's been really enjoyable talking about hip hop and cigars and understanding who you are as a person. But at this time, at the end, we do like to kind of give you the red carpet, kind of put out all the plugs, all the social media handles where people can find you, and let the people know.
Sisters in Smoke, literally on everything. On YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, that's all I got. Everything is Sisters in Smoke.
Easy. Make it nice and easy. We'll put those all across the screen. Sisters in Smoke. Ben, thank you very much again for joining us here on the Burn Down Podcast. We had a wonderful time. We hope you did too. And with that,
I enjoyed it.
We'll send you off.
We're going to send you off.
Cheers. Thank you, Ben.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Take care.